The National Electrical Code does not specifically prohibit or allow wiring between strapping. Code Section 300.4. D. Conductors not to be supported by nails, exception where the conductor or cable is supported by the stud, joist, or rafter. This exception allows conductors to be supported by the ceiling joists, which is essentially what happens when wiring between strapping. Wiring between strapping does have safety concerns. Firstly, increased risk of damage. Wires behind blue board are vulnerable to being cut or damaged when installing recessed lights or other fixtures. Secondly, reduced access for maintenance. It can be difficult to access wires for repairs or modifications if they are hidden behind strapping and blue board. Thirdly, potential for electrical fires. If wires are damaged, they could overheat and cause a fire. Safer alternatives to wiring between strapping include firstly, drilling the ceiling joists. Drilling holes into the ceiling joists allows wires to be run through without compromising the safety or accessibility. Secondly, using conduit. Conduit provides a protective barrier around wires, reducing the risk of damage. Thirdly, installing wire mold. Wire mold is a surface-mounted raceway that can be used to run wires safely and accessibly. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to allow wiring between strapping is up to the building inspector. Some inspectors may prohibit this practice due to safety concerns, while others may allow it if the electrician can demonstrate that it is done safely and in accordance with the code. Based on the safety concerns associated with wiring between strapping, it is generally not advisable to use this method. Drilling the ceiling joists or using an alternative method that provides better protection for the wires is a safer option. When running electrical wiring in residential buildings, understanding the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and adhering to best safety practices is crucial. One common, yet debated, method is wiring between strapping, which involves running electrical cables within the space created by wooden strips attached to ceiling joists. While seemingly convenient, this practice raises several concerns that require careful consideration. The NEC doesn't explicitly forbid wiring between strapping. Section 300.4. D offers some leeway. This section generally prevents conductors from being supported by nails, but it includes an exception. The exception states that if the conductor or cable is supported by the stud, joist, or rafter, it is acceptable. Wiring between strapping essentially relies on this exception, as the cables are indirectly supported by the ceiling joists via the strapping. Despite the technical allowance, several potential issues arise. Firstly, physical damage. The location of wires run between strapping close to the finished ceiling surface makes them vulnerable. Imagine someone installing a recessed light or other ceiling fixture. They might unknowingly cut or damage the concealed wires. This risk increases if the wiring isn't precisely mapped or if future homeowners are unaware of its presence. Secondly, accessibility. When wires are hidden behind strapping and blue board, accessing them for maintenance or repairs becomes a challenge. Tracing circuits and troubleshooting problems becomes difficult, potentially requiring demolition of the ceiling to reach the affected wires. This adds complexity and cost to even minor electrical work. Thirdly, fire hazards. Damaged wires present a fire hazard. If insulation is compromised due to physical damage, wires can overheat, potentially igniting surrounding materials. Electrical arcing, another risk associated with damaged wiring, can also lead to fires. Because of these safety concerns, alternative wiring methods are often preferred. Firstly, drilling joists. Drilling holes through ceiling joists provides a safer and more accessible route for wiring. This method keeps wires away from the finished ceiling surface, reducing the risk of damage from future renovations. Proper drilling techniques are essential to avoid weakening the joist's structural integrity. Follow local building codes regarding hole size and placement. Secondly, using conduit. Enclosing wires in conduit offers robust protection. Conduit is a metal or plastic tubing that shields wires from physical damage, moisture, and other environmental factors. It also provides a clear, designated pathway for the wiring, making it easier to trace and access. Thirdly, installing wire mold. For surface-mounted applications, Wire mold provides a safe and accessible solution. Wire mold is a type of raceway designed to run along walls and ceilings. It encases the wires, protecting them from damage and providing a neat, organized appearance. While the NEC provides guidelines, local building inspectors have the final say. They interpret and enforce the code, taking into account specific conditions and potential hazards. Some inspectors may disallow wiring between strapping due to safety concerns, while others may permit it if the installation meets strict requirements. Always consult with the local building department to understand their stance on this practice. When considering whether to wire between strapping, weigh the risks against the benefits. While it might seem like a quick and easy solution, the potential safety hazards and accessibility issues outweigh the convenience. Opting for safer alternative methods, such as drilling joists, using conduit, or installing wire mold, ensures a more reliable and safer electrical system. The decision to wire between strapping is a complex one, balancing NEC compliance with safety and practicality. While not explicitly prohibited, this method carries inherent risks that warrant careful consideration. Alternative wiring approaches, along with a collaborative dialogue with local building inspectors, contribute to a safer, more reliable electrical infrastructure. Prioritize practices that guarantee safety, ease of access, and adherence to prevailing codes. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, serves as a cornerstone for electrical installations. It offers a framework for safety, defining standards for materials, methods, and overall system design. Section 300.4 addresses protection of conductors and cables. Subsection D specifically focuses on situations where conductors are not supported by nails. The allowance for conductors supported by studs, joists, or rafters becomes a focal point when considering wiring between strapping. This exception hinges on the interpretation of support. Does the strapping sufficiently support the cable, or does it merely create a pathway? Inspectors often scrutinize this point. When electricians install wiring between strapping, they must meticulously secure the cables to the joist or strapping to prevent sagging or movement. This securing of the cable becomes key to whether it is considered supported. Sagging cables not only pose a hazard, but also make future work more difficult. Safety is paramount when considering any electrical installation. Wiring between strapping introduces several potential risks. Physical damage stands as a major concern. The proximity of wires to the finished ceiling increases the likelihood of damage during renovations or fixture installations. Sharp objects, like screws or nails, can easily penetrate the blue board and compromise the wiring insulation. Accessibility represents another challenge. Concealed wiring behind strapping and blue board presents difficulties for maintenance and repairs. Troubleshooting becomes time-consuming, and repairs often require invasive procedures, disrupting the ceiling finish. Fire hazards arise from damaged wiring. Compromised insulation can lead to short circuit, overheating, and potential fires. The confined space behind the ceiling can exacerbate the problem, limiting the ability to detect and extinguish the fire early on. The potential risks associated with wiring between strapping demand a proactive approach. Employing alternative wiring methods offers enhanced safety and long-term reliability. Drilling through joists remains a popular and effective method. By drilling appropriately sized holes through the joists, electricians create a protected pathway for the wiring. Proper drilling techniques, including adhering to size and spacing limitations, ensure that the structural integrity of the joist remains intact. Using conduit provides an extra layer of protection. Conduit encases the wiring, shielding it from physical damage, moisture, and other environmental factors. Both metallic and non-metallic conduit options exist, each offering unique benefits depending on the application. Installing wire mold offers a surface-mounted solution. Wire mold provides a safe and organized way to run wiring along walls and ceilings. It's particularly useful for adding circuits or making modifications to existing electrical systems. Building inspectors play a critical role in ensuring electrical safety. They interpret and enforce the NEC, providing guidance to electricians and homeowners. Inspectors may have specific requirements or preferences regarding wiring between strapping, so communication is essential. Seeking their input early in the planning process can prevent costly rework and ensure compliance with local regulations. Before undertaking any electrical work, consult with the local building department. They can provide valuable insights into local codes, permitting procedures, and inspection requirements. Understanding these requirements ensures that the project meets all necessary standards and minimizes the risk of delays or complications. Ultimately, the decision to wire between strapping requires careful consideration. While technically permitted in some circumstances, the potential safety hazards and accessibility issues outweigh the convenience. Safer alternative wiring methods, such as drilling joists, using conduit, or installing wire mold, provide greater protection and long-term reliability. Adhering to the NEC and prioritizing safety ensures a robust and dependable electrical system. Beyond the code and techniques, a safety-first mindset remains crucial. Electrical work inherently involves risks, so taking precautions is essential. Firstly, always de-energize circuits before working on them. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Secondly, double-check wiring connections to ensure they are tight and secure. Thirdly, label circuits clearly to avoid confusion. Continuous learning and professional development are also crucial for electricians. Staying up to date with the latest code changes, technologies, and best practices ensures that they can provide safe and effective electrical services. Participating in training programs and seeking certifications demonstrates a commitment to excellence and professionalism. In the realm of electrical installations, a proactive approach to safety, combined with a thorough understanding of the NEC, provides the foundation for success. By prioritizing safety, employing best practices, and seeking guidance from qualified professionals, electricians can create reliable and safe electrical systems for homes and businesses. Therefore, it is not just about following the rules, but also about embracing a culture of safety that permeates every aspect of their work. Understanding the principles behind the code and the potential hazards involved allows them to make informed decisions and implement effective solutions.